Well, we made it. And yes, this is where I work. We have all kinds of fun stuff that we play with on a daily basis. But it gives me a spot to kind of spread out and get prepped for the project today. So, not complaining about that at all. I'll give you a quick rundown on what we're going to be doing. As you can see on here, there is rust that goes along through here. The old Michigan iron moss. Gotta love them buggers. A little bit of bubbling and stuff here. I'm not going to be too concerned about this at this point. But there's also, along those brackets, you see the rust that's coming out. Now, I'm not intending to fix this perfectly. Eventually, I'd like to get these completely powder coated. But for now, this will do just fine. So we're going to just do a quick sand it down, spray paint it, and get it back up and going. The other thing we're going to do today is we've got some light bars to put on. Not the one you're thinking of. That one's not going on just yet. It's down here. And then we're going to be mounting the radios, console, and stuff of that nature. So we've got quite a bit ahead of us. Here you can get a good idea that console we're putting in. That's an old Troy console that we got given to us. We've got another console there we're going to be stealing some parts out of, and our box of goodies. So stand by for all the fun stuff we're going to be doing today. So first up, let's get this stuff spread out and to where I can see what we got going on. Alright, well, that's everything that's going to be going in the console, at least for today. Some of it we're not going to hook up. For example, the siren control, the switch box we will actually hook up partially. So the whole intention is to get things, get the radios up and running, and see if we can get these light bars up and running. And as for the light bar, 36,000 lumen Nylife, I believe is the brand. So we're going to fire that up today. And then we've got these little guys, Echo. Be honest with you, they were just in my pile, so we're not even sure if they'll fire up. So I guess we will check that out today. Here's the console we're going to be putting in. And again, like I mentioned before, it is a Troy. We are going to steal some stuff out of this old console. We're going to be taking out those two fuse panels and mounting them into the new console. So we're going to have to figure out exactly where we're going to put this stuff, and we'll get into some of that here in a little bit. But as we wait for the car to warm up, my first step is I'm going to take those brackets off the bumper, get those cleaned up, get them painted, let them dry a little bit before we throw them back on. I'm not going to wait real long. Like I say, we're just doing this to help subside some of the rust, make it look a little better at 10 feet versus 30. So should be kind of interesting. So stay with us. Alright, well, we're not going to bore you with all of the grinding and all the sanding for all these little brackets that I'm going to be doing today, but figure I at least kind of give you a quick rundown as we pop these apart. We're going to wire brush them down so they look halfway decent, and then at that point we're just going to do a quick spritz just to kind of clean them up and make them look better. I really don't care as long as it doesn't look like rust. That's my biggest thing right now. So we're going to go through and clean all these connectors up, make it look like it's halfway decent. let them dry a little bit, and then we'll put them right on the car. So, and like that, they say we'll let it dry. Won't be perfect by any means, but at least it'll stop the rust for now, and until we can take the time to either one, purchase new hardware, or two, get them powder coated. So should be pretty cool. Anyway, we'll be back in a little bit once we get these done. All right, and we're back. Well, as you can see, push bumper is completely off. Yep, it's over there. And different places we've got the brackets hanging so they can actually dry. So we'll probably put a couple coats on that before we get too far. But anyway, back to this. Now, on this light bar, this is what they call a Nilite light bar. You can actually see these are the brackets that are meant to hold this in place. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to basically test fit this, measure it out. We're going to actually sit this up in here, and we will hand mark where these brackets are going to go. Drill our holes so that once we're all done, I can actually mount it to the back, drop it down, make any final adjustments I need. But this way here, I can actually get a good feel for where it's going to sit. So, have fun watching this. Hey everyone, welcome back. Welcome back. You don't know what's all happened. Well, in the process of getting the front bumper taken care of, I got a call out, so I ended up having to drive halfway across our state to fix a tower site. So it keeps me busy, but and tired. But here's the thing: we're going to try to get the radios mounted and see about maybe getting those lights wired in. So we'll see what we can get done. So stand by for time lapse. we had that pulled out. Got the all the wires come loose. So we basically are to a point now where I can start putting things back together. The other setup, they must have ran all the wires towards the back and then back up and around. I'm not doing that with this one. I'm going to actually put this in one big loom and bring it right straight into the console. A little bigger console than what was in here originally. So we'll have a little bit of an advantage there. So next step is to get the coaxes, the antenna lines, from the back up here to the front. So we're going to get after it. All right, well, we got the cables up here. As you remember, when I was done with the antennas up here, we actually ran the cables down and tucked them in right here by the seat. In fact, you can still feel them right in that little notch there. Popped a couple of panels up here, ran these cables down along under the trim, and then underneath here we brought them out so we can run them across and up into the console. These are a little on the short side, so it really doesn't leave us much options, but we'll make sure we have this loomed nice and pretty and bring it up in so you won't even be able to tell they're here. Fun stuff. Alright, I wanted to show you guys a little secret. As you can see, I got my antenna lines up in through here. They're both under the seats as I did the first one. Big thing is when you want to put this back down, as you know, these can be a little bugger. Dropping them down inside that hole, getting them to line up. Well, we're going to show you a little trick. And that is, take a little piece of tape. Yeah, let's see if we can do this. Take a little piece of tape, put it on it, put it in your bit holder, and then just gently hook it on there. By doing that, we should be able to drop it right down in here. And we're in. And just like that, one of them's done. So, keep that in mind. A nice little trick when you've got to run through something. If you can't reach it, tape it onto your bit, tighten her down. So, we'll get back at it. Alright, well, we're making some progress. Let me take a step over here real quick. We've got the center plate back in place. I got the antenna lines pushed up through and everything is bolted in place, so that much is done. As you can hear, the ham radio is going nuts here this morning, or afternoon here. Maybe morning where you're at, maybe morning by the time you watch this. Anyway, took the old console, removed those two fuse panels that you'd seen earlier in there, and we've got them mounted in the bottom along with the radio bracket for the Yaesu 400. So we're excited about getting that in here. But to do that, we use self-tappers. And what that means is, if you look at the back side, there's a bunch of screws sticking out. Well, as you know, I can't just throw those right on the console because it won't sit. So what we're going to do is have some fun. So sit back, enjoy a minute or two of a little bit of grinding. Well, thanks for joining me today. Got a lot done, not as much as I was hoping for, but being on call, we got to run across the state and work on stuff. It is what it is. So anyway, got quite a bit done. Got the lights mounted outside, got the console in place. Feel pretty good about the whole deal. So let me show you here what we got inside. All right, console is in place. Everything is set up. Now, granted, you got to keep in mind, not all of it's set. I still have to run an antenna for this one here. The antenna's in there. I just got to put an end on it. I got to hook up all the switches for lights and whatever else that's out there. So we're getting there. We're getting there. And the siren control is not functional right now. The siren control is going to be mounted in the trunk with switches so that when it's hooked up, or when I flip the switch up in the back, then I can use it. So basically, on an everyday basis, it will be off. So anyway, thanks for joining me, and I appreciate you watching the channel. So please take the time, subscribe, hit the bell, share, let everybody know what we're doing here. Going to be a lot of fun. So as for now, I'm headed home for dinner. Have a great night, guys.